What is up, Farmstrong Nation? I have a special guest with me today. This is Lynn Smith with Source Nutrition. We just got done picking asparagus. Check out our haul, y'all. Like this grows out of the earth.
Bag full of asparagus.
We have a lot. Lynn and I had an awesome powwow conversation about nutrition, about life, about business, while we went treasure hunting for some food. And I thought Lynn would be a perfect guest for my series From the Source because, guys, she gets so gangster with nutrition. She gets so in tune with what people are dealing with. And she's seen stuff that, man, it's like the way that she heals people through energy work and through just really getting to know people, I think is incredible. So Lynn, my first thing is, you know, I work with a lot of clients and they do health and exercise and they try to follow a diet, and some people are really good, but they still feel stuck. And they're eating at a calorie deficit. They think like they're on their game and they don't see results. And after talking with you today, it could be a lot of different factors.
Yeah.
And so what would your advice be for somebody who feels tired all the time, or feels like the scale won't move, or they just have bad attitude? Maybe their gut health isn't super great.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you start with them?
Well, there could be a number of different things. One is, I think for most people, we're so sped up and stressed out. We have a lot going on. The pace is really fast. And the first thing I would do is just find out, like, what's the pace of your life? How's your overall stress level? What's your day-to-day like? Are you able to fuel yourself consistently throughout the day? A lot of people, they're eating good food, but they're not eating often enough, or they're not eating enough.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, you can actually undereat, and sometimes you need to eat a little bit more to lose weight. I mean, it can go both ways. But one of the first things is just to really figure out where the stress is coming from and come up with strategies, prioritize your strategies of how to deal with it.
That's so good. And Lynn, you said something. Lynn and I are in a BNI networking group together, so we kind of get to know each other kind of a lot before this. But you said something in there the other day about, like, a car has gasoline and oil, right? And food and nutrition is kind of... So explain, I would love if you explain that to because I was like, oh, yes, I want everybody to get that. So you could kind of relate that story to them.
Okay, so you could have, you know, pick your favorite car that you ever want and I'll buy it for you. And Andy will help out on that. Okay, so basically you have a car. It's this beautiful brand new car, and we're going to give it to you. But the caveat is the only thing you can do to it is go to the gas station and put gas in it. Okay? There's no tune-ups. There's no oil changes. There's, you know, no little fixes on it. There's only gas. You know,
yeah.
How long is your car gonna last, Andy?
I don't know. Cross my fingers, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully a couple tanks.
Well, yeah, a couple tanks. Maybe it'll last a year, but eventually things are gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
And that's basically, you can put calories in the tank.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the food. It's the energy out of the food. It's the energy from the protein, fat, and carbs. But what really, in the long haul, sustains your energy is the nutrient density of what you eat. And that's the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, all those little elements of your food that are actually running the chemistry of your cells. You know, to help, you need B vitamins, you need zinc, you need magnesium to make energy in your cells. And if you don't have that, what actually happens is you kind of force yourself with the calories, but you're not really allowing your body the nutrients it needs to regenerate itself and rebuild itself and protects itself from inflammation. And so the micronutrients need to be there with the food. So that's why eating whole real food.
Asparagus, y'all.
Asparagus, if you can get fresh, if you can get local, that's ideal. If you can't, try, you know, go for quality, frozen, go for quality where you can. But color, lots of color. Color means antioxidants. It means protection from inflammation on your cells. And you want some basic guidelines?
No, yeah, I would love that. Yeah, definitely.
Make at least half your plate veggies,
Yeah.
at least a quarter protein, and then if you're gonna have carbs, do the complex carbs like a yam or quinoa, and make it about a quarter of the plate. You can actually do without the carbs, but make sure you have good quality fats and oils in there, from nuts and seeds, from olive oil, coconut oil.
Love that. And I think too, when people start health and fitness or a weight loss journey, they think it's just all about a calorie deficit or hitting your macros. But I just want to reinforce what Lynn said about, really macros matter too, and experimenting with foods from all the colors of the rainbow, stuff that actually fuels you. That's what you run on. That is the oil of your own car. And a lot of you are running, you haven't changed your oil in a long time, y'all. Like, if you think about the micros or whatever of what you're putting in your body right now, how quality is the oil? And what Lynn does is really get some education about how to put better oil in your system. So let's say somebody's been eating, like, say, I'll take me, pizza, I'll dip it in ranch. This was before Healthy Andy, right? I would dip it in ranch, energy drinks, a lot of Dr. Pepper. Sometimes I would skip meal. My oil was bad, Lynn. It was bad, okay? So where would you start with somebody like me, or somebody who maybe their body chemistry's off, their adrenals are shot?
Yeah.
How do you get people, where do you start with them? Somebody like that.
Okay, so one approach is add the positive, so add color, add fresh vegetables as much as possible. Another way to work with things is to substitute, like with the pop and the soda.
Yeah.
That's such a killer on your system. It's
Totally.
really hard on your organs, your adrenals, your pancreas, your liver, your blood sugar. It's just your brain. It's hard on all of that. So I encourage people to get off of caffeinated soda drinks right away. If you really like the bubbly, go with bubbly water. Put lime in it, put lemon in it, mix it with some hibiscus or mint tea. But you make substitutions where you can, and switch to healthier alternatives on caffeine, like maybe switch to a lighter caffeine, like a green tea or a black tea, over drinking the Pepsi.
Yeah.
Do iced coffee instead of it. I mean, that's even better than Pepsi, as long as you're not loading it up with a bunch of sugar.
Yeah.
One of the things I would say that is really the key to all of this, and I think probably you probably coach people on this, when you're doing your workouts, like form first,
Sure.
speed second, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're not in the right form, you're going to set yourself up for injury. The thing about making diet changes that I would say is first before anything really is to turn on your body awareness. Like, start to tune into the cause and effect
Yeah.
between what you eat and how you feel. What's your digestion and how you feel? What's your mood and what you've eaten? What's your energy and what you've eaten, when you've eaten? Because if you don't connect those dots, you can try this diet and you can try that diet, and you can, this person said you that and that trainer
Right.
told you that, and you're like, well, I don't know what really works. I still have gut problems. My energy is still lousy. And I've asked so many people, I'm like, well, do you notice anything that affects you? And sometimes they'll know one or two things, but by and large, people with a lot of symptoms, that they don't really know. And the more that you just turn on your observer, a lot of you probably that
Yeah.
are into mindfulness and meditation and reading Eckhart Tolle and all of that, he talks about the observer. It's right here, and it's kind of like a spotlight. You can turn it out and look out at everything out here, but you can also turn it inward and sense yourself. Like, go down and turn on all of your sensory apparatus, your tactile sense, your sense of taste and smell. Smell your food before you eat it. Notice
Yeah.
what your energy is before you actually start eating. And when you start to just like, okay, I'm just going to start paying attention, you might not notice anything at first, but after a few weeks, after a month, you'll start to realize, oh, I have a headache because I haven't drank enough water. Or I have a headache at the end of the day because I skipped breakfast, my blood sugar's crashing, and I didn't drink enough water, and I'm
Right.
stressed out at work. But you might start to realize what the threads are that are contributing to your symptoms. And once you start to see the threads, you can just say, oh, well, I need to drink more water, or I need to really make sure that I eat breakfast, or I need to like step outside after a bad meeting at work and just kind of recenter and take a few breaths of air and let it all go. So, I mean, those are like simple, any one of those things are simple little strategies. So for any given person, it's like, well, yeah, there's lots of strategies, but where do you start?
Sure.
It's going to really make the difference for that person. I mean, one person I might say, you know, you got to stop all that coffee right off the bat. Somebody else, that might not be my first starting point. You know, it might be really working with, you know, changing what they're actually eating is going to get them more of an effect.
Well, if you guys can tell why I love Lynn so much, she has the heart of a teacher. Every time I'm around her, I learn something. And if you guys, some people, they've tried some stuff with me, maybe they've tried 2 or 3 things, and things just aren't moving. Lynn and I were talking about, like, man, your health is just so important. And all of you guys have lots of life ahead of you, and it's like, get it figured out. Like, go to the source, really get, like, kind of eat intuitively, or like take care of your body intuitively. Take that observer and shine it in. But people still have blind spots, Lynn. Like there's they've been told stories, or their parents taught them one way, or they're in there. If you guys feel stuck or anything, like, I've included Lynn's contact information in the post, but like partner with somebody like Lynn, who is an expert, who will just teach you and really get to the source of maybe where you feel stuck. Because Lynn says you just knock over that first domino, then all of a sudden all the other dominoes will fall after that, but you got to find that first domino too. So Lynn, I just want to acknowledge you and appreciate you for, you know, giving so much so generously to my audience and giving them some education around, man, nutrition is so important. And if you guys need more help or need a view on your blind spots, reach out to Lynn, because I would love literally all my clients to go to Lynn and get it figured out, because I know you guys would be crushing my challenge groups even more when you go with a consultation with her. But she's located, where are you located, Lynn?
In Lafayette.
In Lafayette. So look her up there, and if you have any questions, reach out to her there. But Lynn, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot to you, Andy.
Yeah.
And thanks for the asparagus.
We're gonna go have some dinner, y'all, for sure. Well, you guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of the week. I hope you all grow your dreams. And we'll catch you later.
Bye, everybody.